Hello today and welcome back to Trails from Zero. We're on the second day of Chapter 2. We got our support requests earlier. We knocked out, half of them? We did the Testaments training and the fishing one for Shan. So we got 2 more to go. First up, let's head to St. Ursula, where we got to meet with Dr. Raggett. Go away, mouse. There we go. My mouse is moving on my armchair. Chair arm? No, chair arm. So we will be able to find Raggett down here on the first floor in the medical offices to the left. He's with internal medicine. Can I really trust them to come all this way for a request like that? Perhaps I should have asked the Bracer Guild after all. Either way, I don't particularly want to empty my wallet for this. Hard to get a word in edgewise. Excuse me, sir. We're from the Crossbell Police Department, Special Support Section, and... Oh, you came. I've been waiting for you. Come now, take a seat. Thanks, but we're okay. Standing's fine. Professor, would you mind explaining the details of your support request? Yes, of course. My request is simple, really. I need you to retrieve a certain herb that we can use in our internal medicine lab. It's called lupinus grass. Sadly, it's become something of a rarity these days. Lupinus, as in the Lupinus River which flows through Crossbell City's harbor? Could be. So, you want us to find the grass ourselves to bring it back here? No, not exactly. In actuality, I need you to obtain some from the Crossbell Cathedral. They should have a small reserve supply of the herb. Archbishop Aralda has already agreed to my request, so I would like for you to go there as my representative. Pick it up. I'd go myself normally, but I'm afraid I'm preoccupied at the moment. I think we can oblige, Professor Raggett. You said Archbishop Aralda of the Crossbell Cathedral? That's him. Thanks, everyone. Once you get the lupinus grass, please bring it back here right away. Simple enough. Let's go to Crossbell Cathedral. So, the name lupinus grass, or I guess the word lupinus, is it... I'm trying to remember what it's actually based on, what language. I don't know if it's Latin or whatever. But it ties into, or it means wolf. There's a big wolf theme in Crossbell. So we gotta go all the way back to the south exit of the city, then we can fast travel to Maine's... Whoops, that's the wrong thing. One too few. To Maine's mountain path, there we go. And Archbishop Aralda's this guy right here in the middle. Thank you for coming to the Crossbell Cathedral. What nature of business do you have with me today? Prayer, worship, guidance? Archbishop Aralda, correct? We're the Special Support Section. You hear about one of our support requests. Ah, on duty are we? Yes, sir. The request is from the Professor of Internal Medicine at St. Ursula Medical College, Professor Raggett. He contacted you about getting a sample of lupinus grass, didn't he? Considering how busy he is at St. Ursula, he asked us to retrieve the herbs in his stead, Archbishop. Wait a moment. Professor Raggett, you said. I indeed received a letter from him just the other day, but this is the first I've heard of such a request. Huh? How does that make sense? Oh, the explanation is quite simple. I made it my prerogative to ignore every letter sent by this professor of yours. What? What could he have possibly done to deserve that? That's no business of yours. Besides, I already swore upon the goddess to uphold this solemn vow. The hell is this guy's deal? These two have a troublesome relationship. That may be, but that puts us in a tight spot, doesn't it? Still, we accepted the professor's request. It's our duty to follow through, no matter how difficult the Archbishop may be. Excuse me, sir. What is it? Go on, spit it out. We were informed by Professor Raggett that he intends to use all the herbs for internal medicine research. Considering how renowned St. Ursula is as a medical institution, I'm sure those herbs will go a long way in helping future patients. We don't intend to ask any personal questions about you and the professor's relationship. However, despite your differences, is it not at all possible for you to let us have some of the lupinus grass? It seems as though you four have misunderstood me. When did I say that I wouldn't hand over the herbs? Come again? You will find my office on the left-hand side of the sanctuary. If you tell Father Renton that you have my permission, he should supply you with a sufficient quantity of the grass. Now I'd say this conversation is well over. Go on, get going. Thank you, sir? So that happened. Guess we were able to persuade the old fart after all. Did we even persuade him in the first place? He played it off as if he was going to give it to us anyway. I am so confused about the whole ordeal, but don't you think it would be wise to pick up the lupinous grass before he changes his mind? Definitely. He said it was the office on the left, right? Let's hurry over there. Let's go talk to him again, though. The lupinous grass is stored in my office on the left-hand side of the sanctuary. Speak to Father Renton when you get there. He should get you a sufficient amount. Anything else? No, sir. Excuse me, do you have some business here? This is the Archbishop's office. You can't simply barge in unannounced. Oh, sorry about that. We're the Special Sports Section of the CPD. You see, Lloyd carefully explained that the SSS had Archbishop Aralda's permission to pick up some lupinous grass. Ah, why didn't you say so? You said you already got the Archbishop's approval. Wait just a minute then. Here, one sample of lupinous grass. As for why it's called lupinous grass, it's actually from an old word meaning wolf. I forgot they explained this in the scenario, sorry. And this particular herb has a fascinating history. It's said that it was gifted to mankind by the divine wolves a long, long time ago. It flourished in one area near Crossbell City, but the density has thinned out due to the city's expansion and development. I think my grandfather told me a similar story when I was younger. It's sad in a way. Really? I never knew about them. That just raises another question. If they're so valuable, why would Archbishop Aralda just hand it over like this? Can't say I understand it either. I got the vibe that he was out to get poor Professor Raggett. Our conversation certainly piqued my interest in the drama between them. Oh, you're talking about Raggett. That's old news, so I might as well tell you. Professor Raggett originally studied to be a priest at this very cathedral. Professor Raggett wanted to work in the church? There's nothing strange about that notion, actually. Internal medicine and its relevant subjects are surprisingly similar to subjects studied by the Septian Church. It's true. The church is known for its research into medicinal treatments and the like. But why exactly did Professor Raggett leave to join the medical college? Supposedly he was scouted out by the hospital's doctor. Wait, director. Whoops. Despite learning everything he knew about general medicine from Archbishop Aralda, his desire to challenge the field of modern medicine trumped all else, so he ended up leaving the path of priesthood. The Archbishop can be a stubborn man. Forgiveness doesn't come to him easily. I get that. Raggett's move probably felt like a stab to the back. Well, stubborn as he may be, he is still able to tell right from wrong. I have no doubt that's why he allowed you to take those herbs. As much as it may frustrate him, he doesn't deny Professor Raggett's skill in medicine. So, from what I am hearing, those two don't have a bad relationship. They have a terrible relationship. Isn't that a bit too blunt, Tio? In the end, we got what we came here for. Let's go on and deliver these to the professor before doing anything else. Stubborn as he may be, the Archbishop knows what's right and what's wrong without fail. So I'm sure he'll recognize Professor Raggett's skills if he deems him worthy. I think he has even more. Yes? Do you still need me for something, officers? You have the herbs, don't you? Get on with delivering them. Alright. Yes, that's the drama. Raggett was going to become a priest, but then he left Crossbell Cathedral to be a doctor. And Aralda's super stubborn and kind of a jerk, so he hasn't really forgiven him for it. That Aralda, he's known for holding grudges. You know what? Before we get rid of it, we can check the description for lupinous grass. There it is. Precious medicinal herb in the safekeeping of Crossbell Cathedral. Okay, Ragged, I got your grass. Look at everyone twitch out. Oh, back already? Did you get the lupinous grass like I asked? Yes, sir. Mind checking if it's the right thing? Yes, this looks authentic. Now, well, I'm sure the Archbishop told you some stories about me, didn't he? No, nothing in particular. Apparently he didn't even open the letter you sent, Professor. Big surprise there. Considering how long it took him to respond, I thought that might have been the case. So that whole thing about him agreeing to the deal was a big fat lie. Well, it wasn't easy getting the stuff since we came with no appointment. I truly am sorry about that. It's hard to talk about these sorts of things. Due to our strained relationship, I turned to the special support section to go in my stead. That's the truth. One of the priests there filled us in. Despite his stubbornness, I'm almost positive that Archbishop Aralda approves of the path you chose, Professor Ragged. Is that so? You know, I've always respected him. That much has never changed. Someday when medical care has progressed and become more accessible, I'll meet with him to apologize and thank him for all he's done. I think he would appreciate that, sir. I think he would appreciate that quite a lot. Anyway, you've been a great help to St. Ursula. If I need another courier or something in the future, I'll be counting on you. Anytime, Professor. And that's the quest. It's a really easy fetch quest. I think it's just to, like, get you the backstory. I guess it's, like, part lore to, like, introduce lupinous grass, even though it's not, like, that important. But also to kind of get you an idea of what Aralda's like. Alright, up next, we gotta take care of a monster on East Crossbell Highway. And I can't exactly remember where it is. Does the detective notebook give us any additional hints? Sighted on East Crossbell Highway? No. So it could be before the fork or after. I'm going to guess it's after the fork. Just because, like, you get access to this area in Chapter 2. So it would make sense they would put a monster over here. Though I don't know for sure. And unfortunately, I don't think... Yeah, unless I have the quartz that... Unless detection's on, I don't think it'll show wanted monsters. I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But we can just poke around the highway. Nothing appears down there. Maybe over here? Nope. Oh, there it is. Oh, right, I have, like, no CP. I should have gone to a hotel before doing this. Well, Lloyd and Ellie are almost at 100 again, so we can probably use their combo craft. Just hold tight, Tio. We'll do this. Alright, let's keep going and head to Tangram Gate. We'll talk to Sonia and Noelle, and while I'm there, I'll get our CP back at the lodge. Let's see, and after that, there's nothing else hidden right now. If we were playing Evolution, there would be an additional quest. But that pretty much wraps it up. Of course, you could go around and talk to other NPCs in the state, at like Belgard and Armorica, Mains. Oh look, Lynn and Aoya are here. Rest. Now let me, whoops, I meant to double rest. Cool. Is that you, Chiruru? It is. These beds aren't too shabby. I've slept in many, many inns, so believe me, I know a comfy bed when I see one. Thank you, Chiruru. What's up, you two? Lin is a master practitioner of the Taito martial arts style, which originates from old Calvert tradition. Glad I came here. When it comes to hand-to-hand combat, she's probably the best the Crossbell Guild branch has to offer. Damn, really? I've heard about some big bracer that used Taito, but I had no idea it was her. It's not her, it's probably Zen. That definitely explained the way she carries herself. Girl hardly leaves any openings. In fact, you know what? I might want to look at that text box. Make sure we got that right. We're heading to a Republican Guild branch for some official bracer business. And I've got an itch to show off my skills in my home country, and I'm ready to scratch it. On top of that, I'm interested to see how my cute little junior is going to handle the trip. Wow, Lynn, you're merciless. Naturally. You gotta whip them into shape early, you know? When I was training in the martial arts, my teachers never let me slack, not even for a second. So yes, Lin uses Taito, just like Zen, Kilika, and Walter. What's up, Sonia? Not too long ago, there was a suspicious car wreck that took place between Tangram Gate and a nearby Calvardian town. That should probably say city. I insisted we investigate it, and we discovered that the license plate matched the Ravage truck used in the monster attacks. Did Heiwei have something to do with this? Yeah, this is the accident we heard about. Hello everyone, I was just about to head out for my daily patrol of the highway. I'm sure you all are painfully aware of how dangerous Crossbell can be. I can't let any tourists wander into the lion's den, you know? And she says the same thing. See you later, Noelle. Oops, wrong way. First, we should go back to the SSS building and report in. Oh, while we're here, let's give the Jizo a meal. Have this queen pizza. Alright, into the building. Thanks, Fran. We're 9th class. Got the strike quartz. Bye, Fran. And now we go to the IBC building. The IBC building, huh? Thing never fails to impress me. Yeah, it's enormous. I'd guess it's at least 10 stories high. I believe it's about 16 stories. I've also heard companies unaffiliated with the IBC rent office space between the 5th and 10th floors. Oh, really? That's news to me. Indeed, they are a significant source of Crossbell's tax revenue. They are a... So, what's the plan? We did show up without an appointment after all. Why don't we try speaking with the receptionist? She may be able to help us. Oh, Ellie? It's Ernest again. Ernest? Fancy meeting you here. I see you're with your colleagues, so I can only assume you're here for work. Yes, we are. There's something we'd like to look into. Are you going to see Uncle Dieter, Ernest? Ah, yes. I went for a consultation regarding how to manage the office's operational funds. As you know, work will become much busier next month, so I'm trying to get a head start. I see, and that makes sense. Oh, by the way, Ellie, have you given my offer some thought? Yes, I have. I apologize, but I'm not ready to resign from the force just yet. I still haven't truly accomplished my goal. And as long as that continues to be the case, I'm only half the woman I could be. As a matter of fact, I'm positive I'd only be a burden to grandfather with the way I am now. Could you answer this at least? Is the road you've taken the only way for you to achieve your goal? What if it's an illusion? All your efforts would go to waste. I don't deny the possibility. However, the knowledge I've gained these last 2 months has broadened my horizons more than I could have ever hoped. I feel myself growing as a person with each new obstacle we overcome. Had I followed your advice and immediately became one of Grandfather's secretaries, I would have missed out on all these valuable experiences. I have to apologize to you once more. I'm going to continue to work with the SSS as hard as I can until I've reached my full potential. Well, at least you're not as uncertain as you were before. Is that so? Very well then, I won't press you any further. How unfortunate, just when I thought I'd gained a capable aide. You've defied my expectations, Ellie. Ernest. I have one small request of you, though. I would like you to attend the Anniversary Festival's opening ceremony next month. As much as I'd love for your mother to come, we know that won't be happening. Your grandfather may become lonely if none of his family members attend. Understood. I'll make sure to be there. Well, Ernest, thank you for everything you've done. Well, I was your teacher at one point, remember? This is trivial compared to that. Oh, would you look at the time? I didn't mean to take you all away from your duties. If you'll excuse me, everyone. Also, I'll be leaving Ellie in your care. Right. I get the impression you're on his mind a lot, Ellie. Also, what was that about Ernest being your teacher? Oh, that? He was my tutor when I was a child. Sadly, we haven't talked much since I returned from my studies abroad. I assume he wishes to become a member of the Diet, yes? Correct. I think he plans to announce his candidacy for next year's Diet election. It'll be difficult for him to win, though. I don't think he plans on joining either the Imperial or Republican factions. So, he's an aspiring politician, huh? Though I gotta say, he's pretty built for a secretary. He practiced some kind of martial arts? He's an experienced fencer, if I recall correctly. I actually heard that he also serves as grandfather's bodyguard because of his skills. Oh, I see. That'd explain why he's in shape. Well, 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 what do we have here? It's Grace. It feels like it's been forever since the last one. The news about last month's incidents with those monsters left me speechless. Don't you worry, my friends. I know you've been busting your humps. Grace, please. Now that you mention it, you didn't write that article, did you, Grace? Correct. Alas, I was away from Crossbell covering a different event that needed the Grace touch. To be honest, I was hoping I could be the SSS's sole supporter. I like writing articles about you guys. Our hypothesis was accurate then. Well, getting dunked on all the time by your articles can wear you down, you know? Jeez. It's like you can't understand the immense love I harbor for the SSS. It's like a mama bird watching her chicks grow up. Well, putting that aside for just a sec, you do have business here, right? Do I detect hints of another sensational investigation blossoming? No, not at all. It's just your imagination. We're just here to ask a few questions, that's all. Well, if you say so. I'm actually pretty busy myself, so I'll leave you guys alone. For now. I'll catch up with my besties later. That foxy lady's always strutting at her own pace. I have to say, she can be suffocating at times. Do you think she's as busy as she claims to be? I would assume so. She has a lot of ground to cover with the Anniversary Festival on the horizon. It'd be nice if she refrained from writing another article on us. Oh, whatever. I think we've wasted enough time here already. Let's see if we can get ourselves an appointment with the CEO. Okay. Let's speak with the receptionist, Lanfei. Hello and welcome to the International Bank of Crossbell. It's good to see you again, Miss McDowell. I see you brought your SSS companions too. Thank you for helping us test our new service. That's because we did the Sepith support request in Chapter 1? No, I think that's the prologue. Or was it Chapter 1? Oh, whatever. It couldn't have reached its current popularity without your efforts. Really? That's good to hear. I'm glad we were able to assist you. Likewise, we'll be sure to rely on your help again when the time comes. Anyway, how may I help you today? Well, actually, there's something I'd like to ask you, Lanfei. Is Mr. Croyson today? Oh, you're not here to see Miss Croyce? Indeed. I must apologize for our lack of an appointment, however. But even so, I'd still like to meet with him. Or is he absent? Actually, he's in his office right now. Will your companions be joining you for the meeting? They will be. We'd like to ask him a few questions regarding a certain incident. Oh, really? Understood. Please wait while I notify him of your arrival. Leave it up to Elle to crash the CEO's party like it's nothing. Seriously, it's like she's from a totally different world. Yes, okay. Understood. I'll send them in. Mr. Croyce will meet with you now, Miss McDowell. I'll issue you a key card for the elevator. His office is on the top floor. Excellent. Thank you, Lanfei. Shall we board the elevator then? Sounds like a plan. I have to say, you really pulled through back there, Ellie. Well, let's head on up and have a nice chat with Mr. CEO himself. We finally get to meet Dieter Croyce. After we get this explanation of how elevators work. The CEO's office is on the top floor, right? Well, what's the purpose of this card we were given, though? That's just an identification card. Because of all the different businesses that operate out of this building, the IBC issues cards to access the appropriate floors. So it's basically a beefed up security system then. I kind of feel like they're using all the latest gadgets just because they can. Well, the IBC once led the Crossbell City portion of the Orbital Network project. The scope of the project grew to its current size once the Crossbell government joined. I have heard speculation that the IBC provides approximately 60% of the funding. I've heard the same as well. I believe the government provides 30%, while the Epstein Foundation provides the final 10%. Incredible. I didn't know they were shouldering more than half the cost. So you're telling me Crossbell's most generous man's waiting for us up top, huh? Yes, now give me the card, please. I'll take us where we need to go. Ellie inserted the ID card into the slot. Wow. This view is amazing. Phew. Bet this place cost him a mountain of Mira. I have visited the Epstein Foundation's office in this building, but it hardly compares. The view from this floor is exceptional. I absolutely agree. The CEO's office is at the end of the hallway. I think it'd be rude of us to keep him waiting after he agreed to meet on such short notice. Good call. So look at that JPEG and this black screen that just denotes the end of this map. Door's locked. This is Belle's room, isn't it? What's wrong, Ellie? Oh, it's nothing. Uncle's office is just down this hallway, Lloyd. We should go. Yeah, let's. Uncle Dieter? It's Ellie. Oh, come in, come in. Thank you, sir. Ellie, it's been far too long, I say. Close to half a year if I remember correctly. That sounds about right, but more importantly, I'm glad to see you're doing well, Uncle Dieter. My apologies for not having scheduled a proper appointment with you. Oh, Ellie, don't talk as though we're strangers, please, relax. You're my little girl's best friend, and the daughter of my own good friend as well. Surely you haven't forgotten. We're nothing short of family at this point. Thank you, Uncle, truly. Think nothing of it. Now, I've heard from my dear beloved daughter that you've joined the CPD. Would these be your fellow officers then? They are indeed. We're all part of the special support section. Nice to meet you, sir. My name is Lloyd Bannings. And I'm Randy Orlando. Tio Plato, how do you do? It's nice to finally meet the three of you. I've read all about you in the Crossbell Times. I am Dieter Croyce, CEO of the International Bank of Crossbell. Lloyd, Randy, and Tio, you said. We're all friends here, so I would appreciate it if you were all at ease around me. Okay. Were his teeth gleaming just now? This old dude's a breath of fresh air, huh? Anyway, shall we get down to business? I believe you're here to ask me a few questions. May I ask what they concern? Right, the thing is, we're trying to uncover the truth behind our current investigation, and as of now... I think I understand your predicament. This Yin fellow sent an orb mail from the IBC to your office, did he? Correct. We suspect it was sent from the IBC's main terminal. There is a strong possibility Yin took control of the terminal in order to do just that. I see. To be perfectly honest, I have the utmost confidence in our building's security. Even more so when it comes to the floor the main terminal is on. Only a few authorized individuals can access it as is. Furthermore, you must have the proper authentication to operate the terminal. I know this may be rude of me to ask, but have any employees with the proper clearance been acting suspicious recently? Perhaps a recent hire or somebody who's been acting out of the ordinary? Not that I can think of. To be frank, there isn't a single employee I don't trust. But that brings me to another thought, Lloyd. Have you not explored any other avenues? Others? Like what? Let's see. Okay, for example, what if I was pretending to be this Yin character and sent you the message? What? You're joking, right? You must be. That can't be true. Calm down, everyone. It was purely hypothetical, of course. Could you imagine the headlines if I revealed that I was, in fact, a legendary assassin? This goes without saying, but reality is hardly ever that outlandish. Right, of course. Uncle, I would appreciate it if you didn't scare us like that, even hypothetically. Quite the practical joker, is he not? I apologize, that was crude of me. However, I would give things a second glance. If one of my employees was truly responsible for sending you the orb mail, would I not essentially be implicated in that crime? I suppose so. That is certainly one way to look at it. So you're telling us not to consider any IBC workers as the suspect? Hey Tio, that transmission between the IBC and SSS terminals, would it be possible to mask the location it was sent from? An interesting question. It is possible that the IBC's main terminal was hacked from an external source. Hacked? The hell does that mean? Yeah, hacking, brand new concept. I don't fully understand it myself, but I believe it's a technique used for the unauthorized operation of a terminal, primarily by breaching one security system. That would be the core of it, yes. Any terminal connected to the orbital network can, theoretically, be accessed by another terminal. You would need to be unbelievably talented and familiar with the technology, of course. People capable of accessing terminals through such means are known as hackers. The orbital network is still in its testing phase, so there are a limited number of places that have access to terminals. But despite these limitations, we have already begun to encounter security issues. Interesting. So you're telling me, not only is this Yin guy some crazy assassin, but he's also an orbital whiz? I don't think we should jump to conclusions. Though we should consider the possibility that the orb mail was sent from elsewhere. Well, I truly hope the situation is resolved without having to doubt my loyal employees. More importantly, it poses a serious problem if the main terminal has been hacked. I have an idea. Would you like to enter the terminal room and investigate it for yourselves? Seriously? Are you sure that's okay? Of course! You may be able to find evidence of hacking if you examine the terminal itself. I'll have the staff down there assist you, in case you have any questions. That would be incredibly helpful, sir. Thank you, Uncle. We really appreciate it. My pleasure. This is an issue that I, too, should find an answer to, no? And I must say, Ellie, I get the impression you've been living quite the fulfilling life these days. Or am I mistaken? Oh, I don't... Now, I had my reservations when I first heard that you decided to join the CPD. However, I now understand just how valuable your experiences have been for you. Please, allow me to aid you in any way I can. Uncle Theodore, it's reassuring to hear that from you. I'm glad. Oh, one more thing. I see great potential in the four of you, now that we've spoken face to face. Really? Why's that? Okay, so this next part is the Dieter's speech, which is rather notable. You'll know by the soundtrack. But one thing to keep in mind is this version of it we're going to experience, I guess, in a way, is no longer the version. This speech is so important that it is recounted in Azure. It is one of the most important scenes in this game. And because of that, and because of the way it was originally edited in Zero, and it gets brought up back in Azure, I had to go back and put another pass on it and rewrite it again so that it would make more sense when it was like flashed back to. So the version we're going to get's a little outdated. I wish I could give you guys the full version, but it's not. I don't have it on me, for one, and it probably also needs an additional pass anyway. But let's read it. I'm sure you have realized this already, but Crossbell is plagued with a rather unique set of problems. And I'm sure Ellie is painfully aware of this as well. I believe that most significant problem we face as a society is that justice has lost all substance. It's become a shadow of its former self. What do you mean, sir? How's that possible? Could you elaborate, please? The idea that the very concept of justice has become nothing more than an empty vessel. Lip service, if you will. Every individual has their own perspective, of course. That may be why some feel the need to loudly proclaim that it's dead. Justice has and never will exist in this state. However, no matter what people say, humans have ever been in pursuit of justice. That is what drives us forward, gives us the will to move on. Justice? Is that really so important? Oh yes, justice is the foundation of a trustworthy society. If criminals were not bound by that justice we call law, the masses would simply isolate themselves in the safety of their own homes, never to venture out into what they see as a dangerous world. Would you not agree? And if that were the case, any hope of a functioning society would disappear. Don't view me as a pessimist, though. While justice has, in fact, become something of a blurred ideal in Crossbell, true justice may yet be within our grasp. How so? I'm not sure I follow you entirely. Political corruption, the criminal underworld. Even if the police cannot tame them, the economic prosperity we currently experience allows our citizenry to live their lives in relative comfort. Petty crime is at an all-time low because of it, but an unseen evil still spreads across our land. However, despite the dire situation, people still seek justice. From the very core of their beings, they desire it once more. Because no matter what shape of form justice takes, people will always pursue the security that is a trustworthy society. And that is precisely why Crossbell's bracers experience the popularity they do. That would make sense. Put the safety of civilians above all else. They certainly do seem to be allies of justice. Ain't that the truth? Kinda had a gut feeling Crossbellans worship the guild way more than any other country does. I wholeheartedly agree. It's clear to see. Though, as I'm certain you're aware, the extent to which bracers can exercise justice is severely limited. That has been and continues to be their fatal flaw. It's simply impossible for them to resolve the injustices of this city. And that is why I expect great things from you. You may be the cure to the plague Crossbell struggles against. What? So, are you telling us to start taking down all the bad guys? That's a large order, Dieter. Trust me, I have no intention of having you tackle such a childish, naive mission. You all in your own way seem to be desperately pursuing justice. And it's important that you show it in ways your average Crossbellan can comprehend. That way, they can see that justice is not out of reach. I see. Justice still lives on in Crossbell. You want us to give people a reason to believe that? Sharp. You certainly are your father's daughter, Ellie. And for that reason, every article that the Crossbell Times publishes on the special support section is vital to your success. People notice and remember. You may still be young and inexperienced officers who make mistakes from time to time, but I believe everyone will notice your earnest pursuit of justice. There will be a fair amount of naysayers. However, I don't believe that the majority of our citizenry has a negative perception of you. In fact, I think they've begun to place their hopes in you, even if they may not show it quite yet. Look at me, delivering a passionate speech in the heat of the moment. Let's return to the issue at hand, shall we? I believe I was about to give you permission to go and inspect the terminal room, yes? Yes, sir, that's right. As long as you're still willing, of course. Where should we go to gain access? Let me see. I would gladly escort you, but unfortunately, I have many matters to attend to once our discussion is concluded. Our apologies. We didn't mean to overstay our welcome. Pay it no mind, Ellie. I enjoyed our brief chat. Shall I have one of my employees take you? That won't be necessary. Who is she? Belle! Ah, so you've returned. Yes, Father. I just arrived moments ago. It's been too long, Ellie. Cut it out, Belle. How long has it been? 2 months? 3? Have you gotten thinner, Ellie? Have you been eating right? We can always fix that, no problem. I also see that your arms and legs have shaped up nicely too. Very impressive. It's only natural that I'd build some muscle given our daily routines. I may have actually gained a few pounds, believe it or not. Oh, is that right? Now that you mention it, I can feel that your muscles have become a bit more flexible. I must say, the sensation is absolutely marvelous. It really is something to behold. Please stop. She's bold, isn't she? Thank you, Adios. I will treasure this moment for the rest of my life. I get the impression their relationship transcends your ordinary friendship. Hasn't this heartfelt reunion carried on long enough, Maribel? Or would you rather our guest continue to stare? Stare? Oh dear. Suck away all the fun, Father. Everyone, allow me to introduce my friend. This is Maribel Croyce, Uncle Dieter's daughter and my best friend. These are my colleagues, Belle, Lloyd, Randy, and Tio. Enough with the introductions, dear. I'd much rather inspect them myself. Huh? I see. What? Can I help you? You pass, dear. You're as cute as a button. And both of you fail, miserably. What? Why? The hell? I'm as cute as a button too. Cuter. The thought of you mangy mutts being by my dear Ellie's side day in, day out is revolting. The goddess herself must be crying, no sobbing, at this tragedy. Absolutely unacceptable. Did you just call us mutts? Calm down, Belle. And what's with your outfits? They are far too casual for someone of Ellie's pedigree. You could at least have the decency to wear an appropriate suit or something of the like. These clothes make traveling easier. Like when we're having to hike in the mountains or if we have to trek through difficult terrain. Quiet. I didn't ask for any excuses, did I? You see, Ellie, this is exactly why I didn't want you to work for the CPD. My mouse. Why couldn't you have worked for me instead? It would have been a much more worthwhile use of your time and talent. That's enough, Belle. What a vivacious group of youngsters you are. We're all around the same age, so you should focus on becoming friendlier. Go out and do something fun together sometime. Now if you'll excuse me, it's time for me to stop putting off my next appointment. Could you show our guests to the terminal room later, Belle? The terminal room? Why would I do that? You can ask them for the finer details. Farewell, everyone. It was a pleasure. Sir? A tactical retreat, if I have ever seen one. That oaf. Then could you please lead us to... I wasn't finished talking down to you yet. You there, with the fiery red hair and gaudy outfit, do you honestly think that is acceptable? A built physique like yours demands to be shown off in a suit, like a real man. Who, me? Sorry to disappoint, but that ain't gonna happen. I'm bonafide Casanova, I don't need no suits. Don't get me wrong though, I would never try to seduce Elle, especially during a romantic moonlit night. You know, like my main man Lloyd right there. Excuse me? Randy, why? Would you please stop retelling the story in an intentionally misleading way? I failed to see what exactly he said was misleading. Besides, your mood has improved dramatically since last night's fateful rendezvous under the stars. Tio, please! Oh, come on! You're making it worse on purpose, Tio. Don't say you aren't. Lloyd, wasn't it? Care to elaborate on your friend's little story? Because there's something I'd like to know. What vile, lecherous things have you done to my sweet, innocent Ellie? I haven't done anything to her. Why would I? Ellie, would you please back me up here? I think I understand the situation now. Shall I show you to the terminal room then? That would be lovely, Belle. It's not too much trouble? Of course not. I'd do anything for you, Ellie. So, have we cleared up that misunderstanding? Well, it's not like it matters anymore. I was just worried about what kind of unsavory group the special support section was. In the end, you'll have to prove that you're worthy of being called Ellie's colleagues. Why was I the only one under fire? Dude, I could have sworn she was about to chokeslam you back there. I offer you my sympathies, Lloyd. I think you've had enough fun, Belle. Could you show us to the terminal room now? Of course. Follow me. The terminal room is down on floor B5. Shall we board the elevator then? She's a real piece of work. I promise she's not a bad person. It's just I sometimes can't be sure if she's being overbearing or overly enthusiastic, or both. No biggie. She and her old man sure make a hell of a team, don't they? That is unsurprising for the two heads of the famous International Bank of Crossbell. You can go back into Eater's office, but I don't think there's anything you can interact with in here. And we can now check this room, I think. Maybe she won't let us in. The door is locked. Oh, that's my private room. Would you like to join me for some tea? It'll be my treat. Sorry, we're a little busy right now. Do you mind showing us to the terminal room first? Not at all. I'll show you the way. Shall we board the elevator then? Yeah, we'll have to come back here later. Yin, was it? What exactly is his objective? We haven't been able to come to a conclusion yet, unfortunately. Got any takes for us, Lloyd? I'm sure you've probably figured out a thing or two already. Actually, yes. Hear me out on this. That's totally a Zerk line. What if I told you? The threat letter and the orb mail were written by two different people. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure I follow. It's actually pretty simple. Cease production of your new show, or the beloved blazing dancer will have a tragic accident. Yin. The threat letter's phrasing is odd, but straightforward. Meanwhile, if you'll recall the orb mail, I, Yin, hereby submit my support request. Overcome this trial and face me. Only then will I grant you your mission. The orb mail is written with an old-fashioned diction. Don't you think they read way differently? I see your point. Damn, I feel kind of stupid. I'm surprised we didn't see right through it when we first received the orb mail. And? What do you make of all this? A few possibilities come to mind already. For example, what if Yin doesn't operate alone? Their accomplice could have sent us the orb mail. Another possibility is that Yin intentionally wrote them differently to throw us off. I could list off an endless number of possibilities, and quite frankly, it wouldn't be smart of us to continue investigating based off of assumptions. I see. How curious. Come again? Oh, you'll see. Welcome to B5F. This floor houses the IBC's main terminal. The terminal room is right downstairs. You pulled out all the stops securing this place, didn't you? Of course. We're considering storing all our clientele's data here eventually. Since we lack any safeguards against hackers, we have to play it by the ear in the meantime. That makes sense. we could have a national scandal on our hands if client data were to leak, right? That's right. That's correct, Tio. And for that reason, we're still in the development stages. Wow. Man, I'm freaking blown away. Is this what the future looks like? All I can say is, the IBC's going balls to the walls with the state-of-the-art tech, huh? This is the latest cutting-edge information processing system developed by the Epstein Foundation. I believe Liberal's high-speed cruiser also utilizes a similar system. Ah, you must be referring to the famous Arcel. The systems they use are essentially the same, but there's one major difference. We've increased the processing power several-fold to handle the vast network of information. Incredible. Miss Croix? I hope you've had a good morning. Thank you. I hope the same for you. I trust the project is proceeding smoothly. Of course, all thanks to your continued support. Our recent simulations are proving to be extremely successful. Sorry, who exactly are these guys? They're with the Crossbell Police Department. Oh, by the way, there's a possibility that our main terminal has been hacked into by an external source. What? Hacked? Tio, mind explaining the situation to them? Yes, allow me. Tio adeptly explained the situation using complex terminology to the researchers. Somebody hacked into the network? I can't deny that the possibility exists, but I'm in total disbelief that it actually happened. No, this should be impossible. I refuse to accept that somebody out there could hack into our system this easily. If you're that adamant, then we'll have to assume that one of you two sent the orb mail. So, which one of you two is he in? Cough it up. Hold on a second, that's crazy. We must have been hacked because the two of us are completely worthless. He's being pretty hard on himself. Mirabelle reminds me of a queen, kind of like Ilya. Granted, more dominant one, but still. The Special Support Section's terminal received the orb mail around 3 AM. Be a doll and look through the logs around that time period, okay? Yes, ma'am. We'll look through them right away. Here they are! The orb mail's encryption algorithm was cracked right under our noses! It's as we thought. Pretty solid evidence our hacker's coming from outside the IBC, don't you think? Hold on, I'll trace his point of access. Okay, the point of access is... no good, I lost it. So we still have no idea where the hacker managed to enter the system from? Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. He managed to erase any trace of tampering with the system. The most I can confirm with complete confidence is that he used a terminal somewhere in the city. Oh, he's good. Really good. May I use the terminal for a moment? Huh? I don't think I can let you. But... go ahead, sweetheart. You're Tio, right? You can tinker with our system as much as you'd like, okay? Thank you. I will begin then. What? Tio? Is she? Attempting real-time control by multi-dimensional analysis. Yes. Analyzing all terminal logs. Examining all suspicious login, leaving traces of concealment. She's amazing! What is this insane processing speed? Please support me, you two. Accessing all Crossbell terminals with administrator privileges. I am transferring any suspicious logins to you, so please examine them for me. Right! Leave it to us! Ellie, are you following any of this? No, not in the slightest. Man, I'm just as lost as you two. Do I look like the tech-savvy type? Oh, so that's the case. Tio's a normal staff user. While that impressive piece of technology allows for the instantaneous use of magic, it also functions as a conduit for augmented control of terminals. You understand what's going on? Well, Belle studied orbital engineering at the Epstein Foundation, so it's no surprise she's a bit familiar. You could say I know a thing or two about orbital technology. Looks like they're just about finished. Oh, sweet. How is everything on your end? All of my stuff looks clean. How about you, Clay? Bingo, I got it! Control Terminal 8 in the Geofront's B sector. We detected an unauthorized login from there. Geofront. So, our little rat snuck underground in that area right near Station Street, huh? You are mistaken. That location leads to the Geofront's A sector. The terminal accessed by the hacker was in Geofront B sector. Looks like it's somewhere underneath the northwestern part of the city. The northwestern part of Crossbell City. That should be the residential street and entertainment district. What's the plan, Lloyd? I say we head there immediately. City Hall should be responsible for all Geofront access, if I remember correctly. Let's start by asking the receptionist if we can borrow the key for that sector. Sounds like a swell plan to me. Inching towards the truth of this case, are we? Yeah, I'd say so. We couldn't have done it without your cooperation, Maribel. Thank you, Belle. You too as well. Don't mention it. Forget us. This lady is the real champion. You don't say. Great work, Tio. I can't pretend I have any idea what you did, but you definitely helped us. Good job, Tio. Come on, guys. What were you expecting? Tio taught nothing short of perfection. I don't believe I did anything extraordinary. Besides, I'm a member of the Special Support Section, too. It is the least I could do. That was no small feat, ma'am. I have a proposition for you, Tio. How would you and Ellie like to come work for me? Come on, Belle, cut it out. You scouting our members? I'd much rather our team stick together. Oh, settle down. I was just kidding. Fill me in on the details once you've managed to solve the case. And another thing. I'll leave the key card in your hands for the time being. It will give you access to the top floor as well as this one. Make use of it as you'd like. Thank you, Belle. Thanks again. Now, if you'll excuse us. Now, this may just be my intuition speaking, but I believe it's likely that the sender of the orb mail and this Yin character are two different people. Our sender clearly is knowledgeable about orbital engineering. They may even be connected to the Epstein Foundation. Who knows? What? You managed to figure that out from intuition? I agree with your assessment. I've already considered the same scenario. The orbital network is currently restricted to people who understand advanced network technology. And despite it being used for hacking, I feel as if I've seen this method deployed before. You have? Oh, and in case you find our dear little hacker, I want you to let him go off free, so please don't do anything to him. What? But why? There is currently no legislation strictly prohibiting any acts of hacking. As a matter of fact, I've deemed that he was a useful tool in advancing our network's security protocol. We've been meaning to create a defense system against hacking now that we're orbalizing banking. Oh, Belle. Damn, chick's got stones, I'll give her that. Looks like our little hacker is hiding somewhere in the Geofront's B sector. The Geofront is managed by City Hall, so your first order of business is to receive their permission. Should you manage to solve the case, I would love to hear the details on how you pulled it off. Either way, that came off as a shock to me. That's the first time I've witnessed a tracing method like that in action. You can thank the Aeon system packed within the orbital staff's code for that. I would otherwise be waving around a plain metal rod. More importantly, are you able to handle the situation from here? Yeah, you've been incredibly helpful. We can take care of the rest. Leave it to us to clean up the remainder of this mess. Things may have gone south, but we're still orbital network researchers down to our cores. How was an official IBC terminal breached from an outside source? I'm so ashamed of myself. If a disaster like this happens while the system is up and running, I would never be forgiven. I need to hurry up and figure out the methods so that I can start working on a countermeasure. Alright, let's head back upstairs. Alright, and we'll stop here because the second we get outside of the IBC building, there's going to be another cutscene. When we pick up next time, we will head to City Hall, get the key to the Geofront B sector, and then head in there, and we'll have a little dungeon section. It's time to see more of the Geofront. I don't think there are any optional quests. We might be pretty hard locked into the end of the chapter. It's coming up. We just got a couple dungeon sections to go and then some cutscenes. So maybe within the next couple hours, 2 to 3. See you guys in the next one.